What if the only thing standing between you and success is what you believe about yourself? Wouldn't you shift that belief so that you and success were no longer separated? Of course you would. I know I would. Hard truth time. There are self imposed beliefs that are keeping you from success. And these limiting beliefs are holding you back from the things that can bring you the most joy. We need to shift those limiting beliefs. And in case you weren't already aware, limiting beliefs are negative thoughts we have about ourselves or things that are untrue, but we've thought them for so long that we actually believe them. Things like, if I make too much money, I'll be greedy, or I can't find a partner because no one will put up with my attitude, or I will fail if I start a business, so I'll just stay in this job I hate. These are just three examples of beliefs people can hold. And these limiting beliefs serve as validation to stay playing small. These beliefs justify why you can't be wealthy, why you can't find love, or why you can't have time freedom. If you want to reach things you never thought possible, it's going to start with shifting your limiting beliefs. And I am going to share a couple of ways to help you shift those beliefs and reach success. So I think the first one, and this is a big one, first start to any form of change is awareness. We need to identify your limiting beliefs. So this can be hard. I recognize that because we have these beliefs, we recognize them as truths. So it could be hard to identify these truths, but because we recognize them as truths, we may not notice them. But they exist. So we need to be aware. So try to think back to situations where you were unhappy within your own life. What thoughts did you have around those situations? Maybe you spent more money than you should have. So you thought, I'm bad with money. Or maybe you haven't learned how to stop spending on credit cards. So you thought, I'll never be debt free. Another way to identify your limiting beliefs is to journal out recurring negative thoughts. So try to ask yourself why you're having these thoughts, and then reread your responses and pay attention to any self doubt or discouraging words. An example could be your thoughts around not finding a committed partner. So, statements like, well, all men cheat or humans aren't meant to be monogamous are limiting beliefs that need to be identified and shifted. So, start becoming aware of these thoughts that are holding you back. And if you can, journal on them so you can really see them for what they are. Now, once you've identified them, it's time to reframe them. Limiting beliefs are so powerful because we believe them. And these discouraging thoughts and beliefs become our reality, and they end up holding us back from going after the things that we truly want most. Your thoughts shape your reality. So, shifting your perspective to thoughts that are not limiting but empowering can open doors to new possibilities. I run through an exercise that can help you shift your money mindset. It's the 5 day money mindset challenge. I'm going to link to that in case you're interested. But in this exercise or in this challenge, one of the things we do is counter negative thoughts with the opposite positive thought or belief. So let me give you an example. If you have the negative thought of, I will never save enough money, you would counter that negative thought with the positive one saying, I can start small and build my savings over time. So you can run through this exercise through every negative thought you encounter. And it's such a positive practice. And while it will take time to reframe your state of mind, it will be worth the work. Staying consistent with this practice will result in a shift in how you think. So every time you have a negative thought and you catch it, run through the exercise of countering it with the exact positive or the opposite positive thought. Okay, another thing you can do to shift your limiting beliefs to reach success is visualize success for yourself. See yourself in a successful position. Limiting beliefs exist because we believe them to be true. So if you want to achieve success, start believing you can have it. Visualize yourself having the life of your dreams. And what does that look like? Let's go deep here. What are you doing? What do you look like? How do you feel? What do you have? Take the time to think about what success looks like for you and then imagine yourself having it. Visualization is a very, very useful practice to help you reach your goals. The next thing you can do is surround yourself with empowering influences. So I love Jim Rohn, and he said something along the lines of, "You are the average of the five people you hang around." So take a second to think about the people you spend the most time with. Are they negative? Are they constantly complaining? Do they consider themselves broke or fat or unworthy? If the answer is yes, their influence may be trickling into your own thoughts and perceptions. Now, this doesn't just apply to people you hang around either, okay? I want you to audit your entire environment. Who are you following on social media? What reality TV shows are you watching? Make sure you surround yourself with things and consume things that aren't reinforcing your own limiting beliefs. So, seek out communities, mentors, or content that just inspires and uplifts you. Join groups or follow accounts that are focused on financial empowerment, like City Girl Savings. And positive reinforcement will build your confidence and momentum towards success. So, this is especially important as you're working to really shift those limiting beliefs you have. Okay, another way you can shift your limiting beliefs is to take small, consistent actions. I truly believe that nothing worth having comes easy. And if you have struggled with limiting beliefs or a negative mindset, it's going to take some time and work to change that narrative, but that's okay. Start small, take small, consistent day to day actions, and they will compound over time. Taking action is what combats fear and really proves those limiting beliefs wrong. So, here are some examples. If you believe that budgeting is too hard, start with a simple app or a spreadsheet. If you think that you can't afford to save, set up an automatic transfer of $10 a week to your savings account, $10 a month. If you think I don't have time to work out, invest in a walking pad for your workspace. Okay, you're working. If you're sitting, invest in a walking pad and walk while you work. I feel like each of these examples are small, but they will compound over time with consistent action. So make sure, as you do this, as you take this small, consistent action, you're also reflecting and celebrating your progress along the way because it will help reinforce growth and strengthen your belief in your potential. So there you have it.